Hello there. It may be that the electorate is not blaming Boris Johnson for the Brexit delay. If anything, his support base is growing. A few weeks ago, there had been indications that the Tories and the Prime Minister Boris Johnson would suffer in the polls should they fail to get Brexit delivered by tonight. However, a very recent poll by Ipsos MORI indicates that the voting public may not be as ready as people had thought to lay the blame for this Brexit delay at the feet of Boris Johnson. The data for this poll was collected just before the general election was called and shows that the Conservative Party has increased its popularity by 8% since the last poll in September to take them to 41%. This gives the Tories a huge 17-point lead over the Labour Party that is stagnating in second place on 24%. The Lib Dems are still in third, but have dropped 3 points from 23% to 20%. While Nigel Farage will be extremely disappointed to see his party slide 3 points from 10% down into the single-digit zone on just 7%. The Greens have lost 1% to stand on 3%, and the others all mop up the remaining 5%. Further, Ipsos MORI says that Boris Johnson has improved his satisfaction ratings with the public. 46% of British adults are now satisfied with the job he is doing as Prime Minister, and 44% are dissatisfied. And the pollster also says that, in contrast, just 15% are satisfied with the job Jeremy Corbyn is doing as leader of the Labour Party, and 75% are dissatisfied. And when rating the Prime Minister's handling of Brexit, 47% think he's doing a good job, while 45% think otherwise, which is a vast improvement on the poll in September, when 38% said he was doing a good Brexit job, but 53% said he was handling it badly. And all this may explain the following on Farage's party. I'm led to believe that the election candidates for the Brexit Party have been told to keep stum from now on and give nothing away and not to answer any questions about the party's election strategy, and also that they've paused their Facebook ad programme. There is therefore speculation that some sort of informal pact between the Tories and Brexit Party is being formulated. For those that want a more formal and open agreement, that could pose problems for the Brexit Party. You see, if the plan is for the Brexit Party to stand in Labour constituencies, they cannot afford for their candidates to be seen as mere Tory surrogates. Because many Labour voters would never ever vote Tory, whatever the circumstances, and would probably also not vote for what they saw as a Tory wearing a Brexit Party rosette. And if the Tories did pull out of some northern Labour seats, then it would be the surest signal to Labour voters that the Brexit Party are standing in for the Tories, however right or wrong that perception was. Then there's the matter of the Tory Brexit rebels that Boris Johnson has let back into his Conservative Party. Those are definitely seats that Nigel Farage should be battling hard for. It's no good Boris going back into government with a majority that can once again be salami sliced to nothing or worse by allowing a chunk of Tory Remainer MPs to reinfest the House of Commons, is it? And to add a little further division between the Tories and the Brexit Party, Boris Johnson was on a visit to Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge today, where he said that he had an oven-ready deal that could ensure that Brexit got done as soon as he was returned to Downing Street on the 12th of December. That does not sound like someone who would use the leverage of a parliamentary majority and the risk to the European Union of a no-deal Brexit in order to get further concessions out of the EU or leave without a deal, does it? and given the criticism that has been levelled at that deal by Nigel Farage, it would raise eyebrows were Farage now to move aside in favour of the Tories, apart from maybe standing candidates in only 20 to 40 Labour seats with a high Brexit vote. This will be a difficult balancing act for the Brexit Party leader. For his part, Jeremy Corbyn has been setting out his Labour Party wares in the Battersea Arts Centre today, at the start of his election campaign. The first thing to mention is that he's promised to sort Brexit in 6 months. Now, given that he said he will renegotiate the deal with the EU first, that will require yet another Article 50 extension. It would also mean that the UK would have to hold another EU referendum before June the 12th, when, as I understand it, he would pit his Labour renegotiated deal in the referendum against remaining in the EU, and his Labour Party would be backing Remain. And he said today that sorting out Brexit isn't that complicated. Now, the reason he said that might be that his weak attempt at glossing the Brexit issue over, so he can just concentrate on domestic politics. But it'll be interesting what future interviewers make of that when questioning him. And Corbyn also wants to nationalise rail, mail and water. But if he ends up keeping the UK in the EU, most of that will of course be undeliverable under EU state aid rules, etc. Now, for everyone out there like me, hoping that the government would somehow forget to amend the exit date in the EU Withdrawal Act 2018, meaning we would slip out of the EU tonight, no such luck, I'm afraid, as the exit date was amended by statutory instrument yesterday afternoon to 11 p.m. on the 31st of January 2020. But remember that as things stand, it means that the potential for a clean break Brexit has re-emerged, despite the Remainer MP manoeuvrings over the last few months to remove it. Not only could this occur on the 31st of January next year, it could also happen at the end of 2020 if the UK signs up to the Boris Withdrawal Agreement Treaty or some updated version of it, and we fail to strike a deal with the EU before the end of the implementation period. Now, that implementation period end date could be further extended, but to do so the UK government would have to ask for that negotiation extension by June 2020. But remember that the EU decision extending the Article 50 process gives 2 dates on which we can leave the EU prior to 11 p.m. on the 31st of January, as long as we have a fully ratified deal in place. Those dates are the 1st of December and the 1st of January. Given that Parliament will be dissolved in the middle of next week for the general election on the 12th of December, that rules out the UK leaving with a deal on the 1st of December. And with another Queen's speech and Christmas so close, it probably also rules out an early exit on the 1st of January. Which means that if we do leave on the Boris deal, it will probably take place at 11 p.m. on the 31st of January. And we would then go into the implementation phase for future relationship talks under the political declaration. That would therefore only give us about 4 months to decide to ask for an extension to the implementation period, and, if we don't, we leave deal or no deal at the end of 2020. But given the way the last 3.5 years have panned out, making sure we maintain a hard finish date for the end of 2020 would surely get us the best deal possible. Otherwise, we'll end up going down this route for the full 3 years or more. In fact, it would probably be better off all round if both the UK and EU doubled down on no-deal Brexit side agreements along the lines of the ones we already have for things like transport and air travel, and then severed the links fully on January the 31st. Let's work for a Brexit government with a large enough majority to ensure that this time round it can take advantage of that no-deal Brexit ace card to either leave with a really solid agreement or comfortably with no deal at all. Anyway, what do you think? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.